The world belongs to the strong. That executive you admire at the office did not reach the top by being timid and insecure. His impeccable style, firm voice, and dominant posture are not coincidences. They are strategically sharpened weapons. And you? Are you still waiting for your talent to be discovered while hiding behind mediocre clothes and a personality that bothers no one? This is precisely why you remain stagnant. Observe the men around you, those in command, those who close the biggest deals, those who have the most beautiful women looking in their direction. They all share qualities that transcend mere talent. They emanate a strength that is both visible and palpable. This strength does not come from inflated muscles or unbridled aggression. It comes from an unwavering certainty in their own value, a conviction that shapes how they dress, how they speak, and how they think. For years, I have observed brilliant men being overtaken by others less talented, but infinitely more assertive. In business, in social life, and especially in personal development, the truth is cruel. Weak men are invisible. When David Beckham enters a room, nobody questions his authority, not just because of his impressive history, but because of how he presents himself. His presence communicates power before he even opens his mouth. History is full of examples. Napoleon Bonaparte, a man of short stature, commanded armies and nations through pure force of personality. It was not his physical appearance that inspired loyalty. It was his imposing presence, his iron determination, and his absolute refusal to be underestimated. The same principle applies to the modern man. Your ability to command respect is directly linked to your refusal to be mediocre. Your grandmother probably told you to be kind and polite, an admirable piece of advice, but catastrophically incomplete. What she forgot to mention is that kindness without power is just weakness in disguise. Truly elegant men master this duality. They are polite by choice, not out of fear. Look around you. Men who command instant respect cultivate three essential qualities: impeccable physical presence, assertive communication, and an unshakable mindset. When you develop these areas, it becomes impossible to be ignored. The problem? Most men focus on just one of these qualities, if that. Let us start with the basics, your physical appearance. I'm not talking about genetics. I am talking about deliberate choices. A well-cut suit is not just a piece of fabric. It is a statement that you care about details, that you understand the value of first impressions. When a man neglects his presentation, he communicates to the world that he is not ready to be taken seriously. Observe powerful men in major corporations. They do not wear clothes that fit, they wear clothes that dominate. The difference: precision, the exact fit on the shoulders, the perfect length of the sleeves, the precise break of the pants over the shoe. These are not superfluous minutiae. They are the silent language of masculine power. Recently, I conducted a social experiment at a business conference. I wore a custom-made suit on the first day and department store clothes on the second. The difference in treatment was so dramatic, it bordered on comical. On the first day, senior executives initiated conversations with me. On the second, I had to fight for attention. Nothing had changed except the fabric covering my body. The numbers do not lie. Studies prove that well-dressed men earn, on average, 20% more than their less elegant colleagues with identical qualifications. In job interviews, the decision about your hiring is frequently made in the first 90 seconds, before you even have a chance to demonstrate your competence. Is it unfair? Perhaps. Is it reality? Absolutely. And strong men do not waste energy complaining about reality. They use it to their advantage. But elegance goes far beyond clothing. Your posture, your handshake, the eye contact you maintain. All of this composes what I call executive presence. Weak men avert their gaze. Weak men have flaccid handshakes. Weak men bow when they should expand. Body language does not lie. It reveals who you really are. Learn to occupy space. When sitting, keep your back straight and shoulders open. When speaking, project your voice from the diaphragm, not the throat. These are not suggestions. They are requirements for any man who aspires to excellence. The way you move through the world determines how the world moves around you. The second pillar is your communication. Weak men abound in maybe and I think man, sorry. Eliminate these words from your vocabulary. They are anchors that keep you in mediocrity. Powerful communication is direct, concise, and deliberate. When I speak to my viewers, I never suggest, I affirm, because I know what I am talking about, and I want you to know it too. Analyze the speech of great orators in history. They did not ask, they declared. They did not suggest, they proclaimed. Compare Aki, I have a dream, with I might have an idea. The difference is abysmal. The power of words is not just in what you say, but in the conviction with which you pronounce them. When you speak with absolute certainty, people do not just listen, they believe. Practice speaking more slowly. Insecure men accelerate their words as if apologizing for the space they occupy. A confident man knows his words have value and gives them the time they deserve. When you master this skill, people begin to lean forward when you speak. They literally move into your world. In a recent meeting, I observed two executives presenting almost identical ideas. The first spoke quickly, punctuating his presentation with, like, and you know. The second maintained a controlled pace, used strategic pauses, and maintained constant eye contact. Guess which idea was approved? The content was practically the same. The delivery made all the difference. Now, the third and most crucial quality, mindset. Weak men allow circumstances to define their behaviors. Strong men define circumstances through their behaviors. This mindset is not something you are born with. It is something you cultivate daily through relentless discipline. The ancient Stoics understood this principle better than anyone. They knew we cannot control external events, only our responses to them. Emperor Marcus Aurelius governed the largest empire in the world while sleeping on hard beds and living with simplicity, not out of necessity, but by choice. He understood that true power comes from self-mastery, not indulgence. This is the secret that mediocre men will never understand. Genuine strength is not about controlling others, but about controlling yourself. Begin with small daily challenges. Take cold showers, wake up 1 hour earlier, eliminate sugar for 1 month. These are not just healthy habits. They are mental exercises that strengthen your ability to do what is difficult, not what is easy. Weak men always choose comfort over growth. The Navy SEALs have a principle called the 40% rule. They discovered that when your body and mind say you are exhausted, you have actually only used about 40% of your maximum potential. The rest, 60%, is reserved behind a mental barrier that only the disciplined can cross. Every successful man I have ever met intuitively understands this truth. They know that the moment you want to give up is precisely the moment when you must persist. My transformation began when I stopped accepting mediocrity in all areas of my life. I stopped tolerating relationships that did not elevate me. I stopped accepting less than excellence in my work. And most importantly, I stopped lying to myself about my potential. The truth is that most men do not fail for lack of ability. They fail for lack of determination. I grew up like many of you, insecure, trying to please everyone, afraid to stand out. I spent money on things I did not need to impress people who did not care about me. I lived for the approval of others and felt empty inside. The turning point came when I realized a brutal truth. Nobody will believe in you until you believe in yourself. This epiphany was painful but liberating. Suddenly I stopped caring about irrelevant opinions and began to build my empire, internal and external. I see this constantly among men who follow this channel. They invest in fine clothes and learn the rules of etiquette, but continue to behave with the mentality of boys, not men. Elegance without strength is merely decorative. It impresses but does not impact. You can wear a $10,000 suit, but if your posture conveys insecurity, you will just look like a boy playing dress-up. You can memorize all the rules of etiquette, but if you lack the confidence to lead a conversation, you will be merely a social curiosity, polite but irrelevant. True transformation requires a complete reconstruction, external and internal. Here is what you need to understand. The world constantly tests men. Whether in business, relationships, or personal challenges, you will be repeatedly tested. And in these moments of testing, it is not your knowledge of fashion or fine wines that will determine your success. It is your mental temper, your absolute refusal to yield when others give up. Think about the great leaders in history. They faced resistance, ridicule, and devastating failures. What separated them from the rest? It was not just talent. It was unwavering determination. When you develop that same mindset, you begin to see obstacles not as barriers, but as filters that eliminate your less resilient competitors. Many men fear appearing too assertive or dominant. This fear stems from a fundamentally flawed understanding of what it means to be powerful. True power is not tyranny, it is influence. It is the ability to shape environments and inspire actions without resorting to brute force or manipulation. Elegant men master the art of calibrated assertiveness. They know when to press and when to yield. They understand the difference between being strong and being inflexible. This nuance separates genuine leaders from mere bosses, and it is precisely what is lacking in most men who consider themselves too good to play power games. The problem is that you cannot opt out of playing. Even your refusal to participate is a move, typically one that guarantees your defeat. Instead, learn the rules, master them, and then redefine them on your own terms. This is what truly powerful men do. Recently, I dined with a CEO whose business empire is globally admired. I observed how he interacted with waiters, subordinates, and peers. His consistency was revealing. He treated each person with the same quiet but unwavering respect. He never raised his voice, never interrupted, but also never yielded on matters of principle. This is the true face of masculine power, calm, contained, but absolutely unyielding in its convictions. This is the elegance I advocate. Not the diluted version that concerns itself only with appearances, but the genuine substance that combines refinement with strength. A truly elegant man is not just well-dressed, he is impactful. When he leaves a room, people feel his absence. His silence is as powerful as his words. How many men do you know who possess this quality? Probably few. That is why those who develop it invariably stand out. The good news? This is not an exclusive club determined by birth or luck. It is a level of excellence accessible to any man, willing to do the necessary work. And the work begins now, with daily decisions that gradually transform not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. Start by elevating your standards in small things, your workspace, your personal hygiene, your associations. These seemingly insignificant choices build the foundation for larger transformations. Impeccable cleanliness is not vanity. It is discipline. An organized workspace is not superficiality. It is efficiency. Attention to detail is not obsession. It is excellence. The most powerful men I know are meticulous about these small aspects because they understand a fundamental Truth, greatness is not an event, it is a habit. And habits are forged in the minutiae of day-to-day life, not in moments of glory. Dress not just for the position you have, but for the position you desire. Communicate not as the man you are today, but as the man you are becoming. Cultivate a mindset that rejects excuses and embraces total responsibility for your results. I want you to understand something fundamental. There are no shortcuts on this journey. Weak men constantly look for quick and easy solutions. Strong men embrace the process, knowing that true transformation requires time and consistency. This is why so few men achieve greatness, not because it is impossible, but because it is difficult. Modern culture sells us the illusion of instant gratification, miracle diets, get rich quick, overnight success. These are seductive lies that keep weak men in perpetual cycles of mediocrity. The truth is more brutal and, paradoxically, more liberating. Nothing worthwhile comes easily. The ancient Romans understood this. They had a saying, per aspera ad astra, through hardship to the stars. Your journey to excellence will not be comfortable. It will be painful, challenging, and sometimes lonely. And it is precisely for this reason that it is worthwhile. This channel exists to guide men like you through this transformation. I do not promise instant results. I promise a clear path to becoming the type of man who naturally attracts success, respect, and admiration. If you are ready to do the work, I am ready to show the way. The choice is now yours. Continue as you are, comfortable, harmless, and ultimately forgettable. Or decide today that mediocrity is no longer acceptable, that you deserve more, that the world deserves to experience your best version. Aristotle said that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. I'm asking you to do more than watch this video. I'm challenging you to initiate a silent revolution in your own life. One that begins with your physical posture, refines itself through your communication, and culminates in an unshakable mindset. The transformation I propose is not cosmetic, it is fundamental. If this message resonates with you, if you are tired of being ignored and ready to stand out, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Because each week we bring the knowledge, strategies, and motivation that ordinary men simply do not have access to. What differentiates this channel is that we do not offer just theory. We offer transformation. We do not sell dreams. We forge realities. Every man who has implemented these principles has reported dramatic changes, not just in how others treat him, but in how he sees himself. This is not just another channel about men's fashion. It is a movement dedicated to restoring masculine excellence in a world that has settled for mediocrity. You absorb this today. To reach the top, you need to cultivate impeccable physical presence, assertive communication, and an unshakable mindset. These are not optional qualities. They are non-negotiable requirements for men who refuse to be mediocre. Comment strength. If this video impacted you, fashion is not luxury, it is power.